Ceann Comhairle. I will address the substance of the proposal presently, but I suppose first of all, I think it's evident that it is important that there is cooperation between states, between governments, between police forces and security organisations in tackling serious crime and in tackling threats to society and in tackling international terrorist organisations. There is certainly, I think, scope for significant cooperation, and while in recent years there has not been anything of this nature in Ireland, we would be naive to believe that Ireland couldn't be subject to an attack or to threats on Irish life. The proposal in front of us has two elements to it, two quite different elements. One relates to a fund of the overall pot of 2.5 billion. One portion of it relates to a fund that is at the discretion of domestic governments to draw down, and for, in this instance in Ireland, on Garda Síochána to draw down to aid its operations, resources and so on. I believe that that is something that is reasonable, something I don't particularly have a difficulty with, and something that I am agreeable to. Therefore, we will not be opposing this proposal. However, we will not be supporting it either, as we have significant reservations in relation to the latter part of the proposal. And the Minister himself has outlined on two occasions that he has reservations and concerns, and I similarly have concerns in relation to the second part of the proposal, which relates to a fund of 1 billion. And this thematic fund is different from the previous internal security fund proposal or the ongoing project, in that it proposes to increase the flexibility of the fund to accommodate targeted actions as agreed by the European Commission. There is still clarity required in this. I think that if the Minister can address it, he should, but does this require that Member States would go to the Commission with a proposal for approval, or is it that proposals are initiated by the Commission? Because there is a significant difference. I've also raised questions in relation to the overlap of this part of the fund with issues such as the Common Security and Defence Policy, with Frontex and with the Integrated Border Management Funds, areas in which we would have, as a political party, reservations in relation to the Common Security and Defence Policy, areas which would have implications for Irish political and military neutrality. So I think these are issues that need to be addressed. The Minister has reservations and concerns. I hope he follows through on them. There are going to be negotiations, I believe. The Minister has outlined that. I hope he takes a very robust position on that, and that he ensures that wherever this fund is applied, that it is applied in a discreet manner to ensure that it is not used as some sort of fund that can be used to further whatever end the Commission desires in relation to a much broader remit in terms of a broader defence or common security and military ends. I think that is something that needs to be avoided. As I say, certainly there are reservations in relation to this. I think the second part of it is inadequately fleshed out, and I think there is a need for further clarity and transparency. However, we will not be opposing it because the first part of it is important, that Garda Síochána is able to draw down upon whatever resources it requires to tackle crime, whether domestic or international, to cooperate with other relevant international policing and security organisations. So it's in that context that we will not be opposing it, but I think the Minister does need to address this here on the floor and in Europe.